Welcome to the Primal Fathers Tribe. In this video, if you are a married entrepreneur with children, this video is going to interest you, especially if you're at the point where you're working so much and you're bringing home the money, but yet you feel like your relationship with your wife and your children is not working at the level it should. This video is going to teach you exactly why that is happening, why your marriage is suffering when you, as a man, are doing all the right things. Okay, we're going to look at something called the triangle of insanity that every man goes through, and how you can get back the passion in your marriage that's missing, that used to be there before, that all of a sudden now isn't there. So this video is for you if you are a man who is a father, a husband, and you work and you bring home the money, but yet your marriage isn't working at the level you would like it to. So the passion is gone. Your wife no longer seems interested in you sexually. You know, you're together, you've got nice things, you've got a house, you've got the job, you've got the money, you've got the kids, you've got the car, you go on holiday, but yet, although from the outside everything looks like it should be perfect, inside of your marriage, it seems like there's no relationship. It's almost like you're just living together as roommates and taking care of the kids, but everything that you dreamed you would be getting inside of the marriage, the passion, the sex, the love, the intimacy, it's all missing. And despite everything that you do, nothing seems to change. It doesn't matter how much money you bring in. It doesn't matter how many times you go out for dinner. It doesn't matter how many times you go on holiday. Yeah, things might get better for a little while, but at the end of the day, everything goes back to being the same. And as a man, you're left feeling hollow inside because you don't understand why your wife isn't desiring you in the way that she used to. You know, she used to be all over you. She used to basically worship the ground that you walked on. But now things just aren't like that. And in this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through my experience as a businessman and how it actually took the breaking down of the business till we were left with nothing to actually get to the root of the reason why our marriage wasn't working. So before we go any further, I want to introduce you to the triangle of insanity, which is this here. The triangle of insanity. And this is the triangle that we as men face every single day. It's the battle of balancing out earning of the money, having a happy marriage, and being there for the children. Now, what tends to happen is that the way that society is organized right now, we put our priority on the earning of the money, right? We're told that provided we have enough money and we've got the house and the car and the holidays and all these other kinds of material things, that everything should just fall into place, and then it will be sex, 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 right? Your wife will be happy. She will be fawning over you because you've got all these things. And we fall into this kind of, it's the happy wife, happy life trap, right? Where you as a man, you're providing all the things that you've been told you need to provide, yet at the same time, your wife just isn't happy. She's not happy in the relationship. And because she's not happy in the relationship, you're not happy in the relationship. And this is the insanity of it. So as a man, your first reaction is, well, what I need to do is I need to increase the amount of money that I'm earning. I need to earn more money. That's what I need to do. If I can just earn a little bit more money. So you spend more time at work. You spend more time at work, more work, but then you have less time with your wife and less time with your kids. Because society has told you that this is what you've got to do as a man. You've got to provide, you've got to give to your family all these material things. But it's not working. It's not working, because although your wife will tell you that she wants all these things, because she's been conditioned to believe that what she wants is the house, what she wants is the car, what she wants is all these material things, what she wants is the holidays, the materialistic things. That's not what she actually wants. What she wants is your presence as a man. So while you're out working all these hours and doing everything that you think you should be doing, what's actually happening is you're neglecting your marriage and you're neglecting your children. But yet, it's impossible to see that, because you're providing for them, aren't you? You're giving to them. You're giving them what they need, according to what society's told you. And I just want you to understand that your wife is just as confused by this situation as you are, because she wants to desire you. You know, she's with you for a reason. She saw something in you when she chose you. So she's just as confused as you are, that because she's got all these things, she's actually, you know, it's the typical, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Like, she loves you as a man, but she doesn't desire you. And that's because the things that she truly wants from you as a man, she's not getting. So, to give you an example of this, my wife and I, we had a really successful business. We were turning over in excess of 8,000-9,000 euros a month. You know, we had the big house, we had the land, we had the car, we went on holiday, we had all these things. But the relationship that we had, you know, we weren't having sex regularly. I mean, it's like a sexless marriage. If you're having sex less than once a month, that's a sexless marriage, you know. And that's what was happening to us. We just weren't connecting on a level that we were meant to be connecting. And me as a man, I felt completely ignored. I felt completely unattractive, and it caused me to do things like drink too much, smoke too much weed. I would masturbate to pornography just to try and get some kind of sexual connection, to the point where in the end it's like I didn't even bother trying to chase my wife, because I could just sort myself out. You know, that's just the way that it was. And there was this big rift growing between me and my wife, and I couldn't get round it. You know, it didn't matter how much I tried to do, there was no connection there, and I couldn't get it back, and I didn't know how to get it back. And I was getting to the end of my wits with this. I mean, I was actually seriously considering, you know, cheating on my wife, you know, going to find another woman, because I was convinced it was her fault. Like, I was doing everything right. So if it's not working, it must be her fault, right? And I used to blame her for the reason that things weren't working. And then 2020 came around and COVID happened, and we ended up losing the business. We lost everything. We lost the business. We lost an income. We lost our house. We lost absolutely everything. And we were basically homeless for about 1.5 years. We ended up living in a camper van, 6 meters squared, myself, my wife, our 2 young children who were 2 and 6 months at the time, and 2 dogs, living in a camper van with no income, just living off the savings that we had. And we went from this really high level, high performing life to nothing overnight. But what happened there is that the money was taken out of the equation. The money was removed from the equation. And all I could concentrate on then were on my wife and on my children. There were no other distractions. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I had the internal struggle as a man thinking, how the fuck am I going to get out of this? And thankfully, off the back of that disaster, that pushed me over a limit. It pushed me over a line of comfort that caused me to move now to the point where the money is coming back. But the learning curve that was given to me in that situation allowed me to completely reverse the way that I was looking at life. It was no longer about the money. Life became solely about my wife and my children. And the ridiculous thing is, when I say it now, is that I had no other choice but to give to my wife what she needed at the time. Because if I was suffering as a man because we'd all of a sudden lost our business, we'd lost our income, she was suffering even more. She was suffering even more. And at that moment in time, what she needed was a strong, determined, focused, and driven man that she could call her rock, that she could depend on. And what happened in that space is that I, as a man, I was forced to shift. I was forced to change. I was forced to grow. I was forced to become more powerful as a man. I had to step into this place of the unknown and change everything I thought I knew about myself to be able to bring back to my wife and to my children the things that they needed. And what I learned in that space is what they didn't need money. My wife didn't need money. She didn't need money. My kids didn't need money. What they needed was me in my fullness. They needed me chasing my purpose. They needed me full of power. And when I found that power within myself, without the money, my marriage improved and my relationship with my children improved, because I learned inside of that space that money isn't important. When your focus is on the money, when you're focusing on making the money, your marriage and your job as a parent goes completely out of the window. So the response to that is, yeah, but if I'm not focused on the money, if I don't earn the money, you know, how am I supposed to provide for my children? How am I supposed to provide for my wife? Now, I'm not saying that you should give up money. The reason that I'm doing this video is because I don't want you to have to go through, as a man, what I went through by losing everything. You can still continue to earn the money. But what you have to do is make some changes in your life to begin giving to your wife and your children exactly what it is that they need from you. And the first thing that they need from you is your presence. They need you to be around. Your wife needs you to be that rock in her life. So if you've got a job or you have a business that takes you away from your wife, she needs to know that you're still present. She needs to know that she is still an important part of your life. Because it's all so easy to get caught up in the making of the money and then just showering your wife and children with gifts and taking them on holiday and taking them out to dinner. And that's not what they want. She wants to know your wife requires attention. She wants to feel seen. She wants to feel heard. She wants to feel loved. And all of those things that your wife requires, your children require those things as well. So the question becomes, how do you do that? How do you make that balance? How do you make that shift to become the man that your wife and your children need? So inside of the Primal Fathers tribe, these are exactly the things that we talk about, is how you as a man can become the man that you were meant to be, to find your purpose. Like, what is it that you want to see in the world? Forget about the money. Forget about the money. What do you want your marriage to look like? What do you want your family to look like? Do you know what your purpose is? Why are you here? Why are you even breathing? And inside of the Primal Fathers tribe, what we do is we change your perspective on what it means to be a man. We take the focus off the money, off of the money. Forget about the money. Forget about it. Focus on your purpose. And this will increase your marriage and your kids. See, there's one of the things that you have to understand about a woman is that although she's told in this modern day and age that she needs to compete with you as a man, she needs to earn the money, she needs to be strong, she needs to be powerful. Actually, deep down inside of her, that's not what she wants. She wants you to be the powerful one. She wants you to take the lead in the relationship. And she wants to go along for the ride. She wants to be included by your side. But she doesn't want to be the focus of your attention. You see, this is where we go wrong. Society tells us that your wife should be the focus of your attention and everything you should be based around her. And that's not true. That's not what she wants. She wants you to be focused around your purpose, to go after what it is that you want in this life. And she wants to come along for the ride. She wants to be involved in your purpose. And I want you to think about it like this. The sun has planets that orbit around it, right? You are the sun in your family. You are the blazing power that gives life to all of these planets that orbit around it. So your wife, your children, your community, your extended family, and the whole world as a whole relies on you being powerful. A life giver. That's what you are as a man. You are the center of your family. You are the leader of your family. You are that which gives life to your wife, to your children, to your extended family, to your community. But you have to step into that place of power. But it's not about the money. You can have a lot of money, but still find yourself orbiting around your wife. And that's the wrong setup. That's the wrong setup. You must be the power source for your family. You must be the life giver. And this is exactly what we do inside of the Primal Fathers Tribe. We show you how to step into that place. Inside of the tribe, there are 4 men who can guide you in each of the 4 areas of life. The 4 necessities that you have as a man. Which is your mind, your muscle, your marriage, and the money. There are 4 experts inside of that place. Each one of them can guide you in each of these areas to get your mind in the right place, to change your perspective on who you are and why you're here, what your purpose is. The muscle, to get your body in the place that it needs to be, for you to be able to lead your family. You see, if you're overweight, if you're unfit, if you're not a good example of health to follow, why would your family follow you? You know, if you have no energy, how are you going to push forward? If your body is an anchor, if it's drawing you down, if it's stopping you being able to function, how are you going to lead? Your marriage, how to actually relate to your wife and your children so that they will look up to you as the leader and they will be willing to follow you. You see, because if your wife can't trust you with the simplest of things, if she can't trust you to make a decision about where you're going for dinner, how's she going to trust you on the decision about where you're heading as a family? And then the last bit, the money. Yeah, you do need money. We live in a world, unfortunately, where you do need money right now. So you do have to make an income, but you would be surprised how little money you actually need for the rest of these things to come into place. So my question to you now is, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue as a man, as a businessman, as the money earner, as the family center, continuing to do what you're doing right now? Look at your marriage. Is it in a good place? How long are you going to let it continue? Are you finally going to get to the point where you just get divorced and then your wife will take the kids and some other man will be raising your children? Are you going to let it get that far? Or are you going to stand up now and take action and turn your marriage around and turn it into the passionate, fiery relationship that you want it to be? You know, you have to make a decision, my man. You have to make a decision right now about what you're going to do. Because if you don't, your wife isn't going to stick around much longer. She isn't going to. You see, just like the planet that's in orbit around the sun, there are plenty of other suns that this planet could go orbit around. If this sun is weak, if you are powerless, if you're not giving her what she needs to be able to come to life. I mean, if you think about our sun and the planet Earth, if the sun is not strong enough to be able to provide to the planet Earth what it needs to be able to grow plants, to be able to feed the earth the power that it needs, the earth dies. But your wife is not going to let herself die. She will go find another son if you are not being powerful enough, if you're not providing the things that she needs. And I repeat, she does not need money. So the question becomes, are you going to step into that place where you become the real you? Are you going to stop hiding behind the masks that you wear to pretend that you're okay when you're not? You see, your wife can see through you. Your wife is an emotional being. She can see through your lies. When she says, how are you? You say, I'm fine. She knows you're not fine. She knows you're not fine. And again, it comes down to that trust issue. If she knows you're lying to her about how you feel, how can she trust you? How can she trust you when you come home and you have this mask on of, I'm fine? But yet you're drinking, you're smoking, you're masturbating, you're doing everything to mask the feelings of crap that you have. What are you going to do? Are you going to take action? Or are you just going to let things run away with you? And this is the decision you've got to make. And it's like, I don't care at the end of the day if you decide to join the tribe or not. You know, my life is not going to change whether you join or not. The only person that will change is you. But you have to make the decision. Don't just sit on the fence about it. I'm in an R, well, I might join. It sounds good. I'll think about it. Because the longer you think about it, the more chance there is that your relationship is going to end up completely broken. Make the decision. Like, if you don't want to join, it's fine. Doesn't matter. It's your choice. It really doesn't matter to me or any of the men that are already inside the tribe, that are already changing their marriages, that are already becoming fitter than they've ever been in their lives, that are getting the perspective in their mind in the right place, that are pushing forward and becoming the men that they were supposed to be. It won't make any difference to us. But if you do join, in 6 months' time, you will not recognize who you are. You will look back at the man that you are right now and you will be disgusted by yourself because of the man that you will become. So make a decision, and I'm going to leave it with you there. Make a decision and make it now. And I'll see you inside of the tribe.